Hey guys, what's up? It's Moses here at the Driversuccess channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I just want to talk about follow up with a video that I made about where I posed a question to you guys and asked you what you think if I should quit JB Hunt and go work for another company that pays more. Excuse me. And I specifically made that video and asked that question because I wanted to deal with something that is so common in the trucking industry, and that is job hopping, where we as truck drivers move from one company to the next and then to the next because either fellow truck drivers are telling us how much money they earn in the companies they work for, or because recruiters are telling us how much money we can be paid. And so we move from one company to the next, and we are here for a month, we are in the next company for 6 months, and then we move to the next company for a year, and then we are in the other company. And so you find that mostly new truck drivers are hopping around from one trucking company to the next. So I'm making this video mostly to help new truck drivers, because I know probably for those that have been in trucking for a while, they already know about trucking companies. I know there are some that have been probably doing trucking for a while, but they are still hopping around from one company to the next. But for the most part, I really just want to help the new truck drivers, or those that want to come into the industry. I already made a video where I said that, where I talked about finding the right trucking company to work for. Now, when I moved from California, my goal in moving from California to Texas was because I wanted to reduce our expenses as a family. California is really expensive, so Texas is not as expensive as California. I wanted to bring our cost of living lower, but in the process I also wanted to increase my income. And I know that there are opportunities for me to increase my income as a truck driver from what I've been earning. So I wanted to increase my income and also bring my expenses down, so that leaves us with some income to do the things that we want to do as a family. So that was my goal. But of course, when I moved to Texas, the first priority wasn't to find the right company right away. The first priority was to find a job, because when I moved here, I didn't have a job. My wife is not currently working too, and so the priority wasn't to find the right company. The priority was to get back to work. And so of course, working in this industry, I know that almost anywhere I go in the United States, there is a job that will be waiting. It may not be the perfect job, but at least there is a job waiting. So in me coming to Texas, I just wanted, the first thing was to find a job before I find a perfect company. Now that I have a job, I can look forward to finding the perfect company. But having said that, let me answer the question, and then I'll go into explaining my decision, because I told you to wait and tell you my decision. And the decision is that I'm not ready to move from JB Hunt yet. And here is the reason why. And this is why I want to talk to those that are just coming into the industry. If you think about it, I have just made 60 days, 2 months here at JB Hunt. It is so short a time for me to just say that JB Hunt doesn't pay well, or I'm not making as much money as I used to make, and then just move on. I need to give JB Hunt an opportunity. I need to look at the different things that they have as a company. I need to look at to see if there's a way for me to increase my income, because remember, we are paid by the activity pay. There are many opportunities that I see right here at JB Hunt that before I think of looking for another company, I need to look at the opportunities that JB Hunt has. They have dedicated accounts that I could move from intermodal to dedicated. Even within the intermodal department, I don't know if I have taken advantage of all the opportunities that they have. So I need to look into that. One of the things you've seen me do is I tell you guys that if you want to come work for JB Hunt, send me an email so that I can refer you and then be paid. That is another opportunity for me to make more income, because like at my previous company, they didn't have that opportunity, but it's an opportunity they have here that I can take advantage of. The question is, what am I willing to do to take advantage of that opportunity? So within the companies that we work for, there may be opportunities that we are not taking advantage of. So before you think of quitting after 1 month, after 2 months, after 6 months, first ask yourself, have I taken advantage of all the opportunities that the company is offering? The other thing is, are you just going after money, or are there other things that are important for you? So let me tell you something. And I was so happy how this week went, because after I made that video, this week there are 3 instances that I encountered that I want to share with you. Number 1, I found a driver. I was putting fuel in my truck, and just beside me there was a Schneider driver who works just across from us, same position. He works as an intermodal driver. He's a local driver. The position I told you that I was gonna go work when I applied to Schneider. And when I did that video where I was comparing numbers, I kind of showed as if based on the numbers I was showing, it looked like Schneider would pay you more. But after talking to this driver, he has been working with them for 7 years. After telling me how much he gets paid, I realized that you'd end up being paid the same amount if you worked at JB Hunt doing intermodal as an intermodal driver, local work here in Haslet. I don't know about other positions, but I'm talking about the Haslet position. You'd end up making the same money, and that is being kind of just wanting to talk on a general point of view. But from my understanding, you may make even slightly more working with JB Hunt. Now, again, I'm not saying this just because I'm working for JB Hunt. I'm telling you based on what the driver told me and based on the numbers and based on what I see, because their yard is just across from us. It's a small yard. They have few trucks. I really don't know if they have a lot of loads, but again, I don't know. I'm just going off of based of what the driver told me. So it looks like you'd either make the same money working with JB Hunt, or you may even end up making a little more if you work for JB Hunt as a local driver. So that example alone tells you that if somebody was in a hurry and said, oh, I think Schneider pays more, let me go work for Schneider, they would end up in the same boat. The other incident that I came across was there is a driver who works for JB Hunt currently. He's doing regional runs, and so he was asking me how much we get paid, because he wanted to know if he could come work as a local driver and get paid more. So when I told him my numbers and my experience, and I explained to him I was still new here, he realized that he was making either the same amount of money or even a little more than I'm making. He is a regional driver, and chances are he's making a little more than I'm making. but he is not happy with how much he's making. So he was telling me that he came from a company, I forget the name of the company he came from, but he was, they were paying really well. He was like, JB Hunt doesn't pay anything. I came from this company and they were really paying so well. The only reason he left the company, the only thing he doesn't like about the company is their dispatch. He said that dispatch is really bad. And he's so happy with the dispatch here at JB Hunt. He was saying, JB Hunt doesn't pay good money, but I like the dispatch. They are really so nice. So here is a driver who left the company that he was working for because they were paying more, but they didn't have a good dispatch. He came to JB Hunt, and according to him, JB Hunt has good dispatch, but they don't pay good money. So you see what I'm talking about? It also depends on what you are looking for in a company. You have to know what you are looking for. Because the question then to this driver is he willing to put up with bad dispatch and get the good money, or is he willing to make little money and have good dispatch, as he looks for the company that has good dispatch and pays the kind of money that he is looking for? If that company exists, which I believe it does exist, then he has to, for now, he has to make up his mind whether he would rather be with bad dispatch but be paid well, or he would rather be with good dispatch and make the money that is not as much as he wants to make, as he looks for the company that has both good dispatch and pays well. But I share with you that story to say that if you go and watch the video where I talk about the first important thing is sit down and figure out what you want in a company, and then go out and look for that company. Instead of just jumping from one company to the other, settle down, figure out what you want, and then look for that company. Don't just move just because somebody told you they pay more, or just because somebody told you this company is good. Take your time. And that is why I'm saying I can't just, after 2 months, quit JB Hunt and say, oh, because there's another company that pays more, and just move. And that brings me to my third instance. It so happens that I was fortunate that this week they gave me a load. I had to go pick up a load. You remember the company? I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video where I told you guys that there is a driver who left JB Hunt and went to work with a company that pays $21 per hour, and he's so happy with that company. And that company is not very far from where I live. And so I was wondering, when I asked you the question, I was saying, should I go to that company that pays $21 per hour and make more money? So I was fortunate enough to go to that company to pick up a load. And I will tell you this. When I got to the company and saw the atmosphere, the culture of the company, right there and then I knew that wasn't the company for me. That wasn't the company for me. Because much as I may be able to make more money there, I just didn't like the culture. I mean, I don't want to say why I didn't like the company, but I know from the things that I look for that wasn't the company for me. So I didn't even, it was just like, I wouldn't even bother go there. But yet there are some people who don't care about that kind of culture. They just don't care about that. All they care about is to be paid more. So for those people, like that driver, he said in his videos that he's so happy with the company. So with people that don't care about the culture and the atmosphere, all they care about is the money, that would be the perfect company for them. For me, it's not the perfect company for me, because it's not just about the money. And I have said this before, it's not just about the money. There are other things that I consider before I move to a company, if I'm looking for the perfect company. So it's not just about the money. You have to know what you want in a company, and to me that goes to show you what I'm trying to tell you guys, that it's not, don't hop around. Don't just hop around just because a recruiter or a driver told you something. Take your time, settle down, figure out and see if there are opportunities within the company that you have, or if you can put up with some of the negatives of that company, and make a career, or and stay there until you feel another company that is perfect for you comes along. But don't just move just because maybe Dispatch did something small. And the reason I say this is because I saw it at my previous company. I saw drivers come in and they quit just because of something small, maybe just because one day they didn't make the hours they wanted to make. I mean, minor things, people quit. And I would see those drivers want to get back to the company and work again with the company, and they wouldn't be able to get back in the company. Or some, I know, like for example, the people that I was hired on with in 2010, most of them quit even before the year ended. And some of them, I was still in contact with them, and I know for sure that when I talked on the phone with them, we were earning the same amount of money they were earning wherever they went. So don't fall for job hopping. Take your time, figure out what you want, and then how do I say this? Be deliberate about the things that you are doing, so that you don't just fall prey to schemes that are in the trucking industry. So for me, I'm still here at JB Hunt, trying to figure out all the opportunities that JB Hunt has. I want to see if there are opportunities for me to earn more money and how to take advantage of those opportunities. I keep, of course, my options open to see what else is out there, because at the end of it, I want to make sure that I'm making the best decisions for me and my family. I want to make sure that I'm in the right company, I'm in the right atmosphere, I'm making the kind of money that I want to make. But I have to look at all the things. I want to see, am I in a company where I also feel like I'm being appreciated? Do I have time outside of my work? Do I make the kind of money that I want? So there are many things that you have to consider, but that is up to you. You make that decision based on your needs and based on what is important for you. But to answer the question is no, I'm still here at JB Hunt, but that doesn't mean that 2 months from today I'll be here. But it also means I may be here 10 years from now. I may still be here. I don't know, but I'm saying that I'm making this video really to share with new drivers, saying take your time. Don't quit the company you're working for. First figure out if it's not the first figure out if it's the right company or if there are other opportunities. If it's not the right company, then look for the right company, and when you find it, move to the right company. So I just wanted to share with you that, and hopefully that helps you out. And until next time, stay blessed and stay safe. Bye-bye.